Everybody say that they doing it, but they ain't really doing it, no. They ain't doing it, no. But I'm doing it.
Welcome to Doing Music with Ramsey Rizard. I am so excited because let me tell you, we got an amazing interview today for you, and I guarantee you are going to walk away with some substance and you're going to walk away with a powerful story. But you know, of course, doing music, it's all about those who are doing positive music and those who are impacting community and uplifting those who are listening to the music that they're putting out there in the world. And I'm excited. Now, if you don't know who this person is, by the end of the interview, you're going to say, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, we have today on Doing Music, the one and only from Commission, Mitchell Jones.
What's up, Ramsey? We in the house with my boy Ramsey.
What's going on, Mitchell?
Man, all is well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I am so excited to have you today on Doing Music, man. You know, you've been doing music for a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
How long you been doing music, Mitchell?
About 35 years. 35
years.
Actually, I've been doing music since I was young, but I mean, with Commission, it's been about 35, 40 years.
And I'm going to put it in there for you. You've been doing music since you came out your mother's womb.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So Mitchell, for everyone who don't know who you are, tell everybody where you're from and what have you been doing and what brought you to who you are today.
I'm Mitchell Jones, and we're part of a group, legendary group called Commission. And man, God has just been blessing me over the years, man. You know, in my relationship, and I've learned a lot, man. Starting with Commission, you know, I think about when we first got together, man. It was so crazy. When we all got together, I remember the first song that we sang in Michael Brooks. I think it's at Fred House, where we sang a Michael Brooks song, "The City." Man, we could not finish the song. We sang the first part and we ran out of there because of the sound. It was so crazy. We couldn't believe how the sound was just so. I mean, it was just so knit. It was just a bond, man, love that we had for one another. And man, it's been a blessing ever since, man. And now, you know, we have some things that's coming up, man. We have a movie coming out.
Come on.
I have a CD, a praise and worship CD coming out finally. It's called Up Close and Intimate, because I believe that's really what it's all about. God really wants us. You know, so many times we think God wants something from us, but really he wants our heart. You know what I'm saying? He's looking for our heart. What the heart man believes. You know what I'm saying? So it's the giving God our hearts every day. It's not just one time that we give God our hearts, but it's continually every day. Lord, I give you my heart so that my heart can delight in your ways. And it's all about relationship with God, man. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and that's powerful because there was a time period in your life where you struggled and you didn't know whether you didn't, you pretty much like you was going through a phase what led you to write a song called Cry On. And,
Yes,
you know, a lot of people don't understand that music, you're always inspired by the things you go through.
Absolutely.
And by the time you get done with the song, it leads you to your place of victory. And today we are blessed because, listen, we are literally living in a moment of victory, having you on and to talk about, you know, Mitchell Jones, what you've done. I mean, all the way from high school, Mrs. Allen. So who's Miss Allen? Tell us who Miss Allen is.
Miss Allen was a music teacher, man. She was phenomenal in her teaching. And Fred and I, we were in that music class, and man, she taught us how to read music. And man, she was phenomenal. BB and Cece was in that class. Guy named Derek Brinkley was in that class. The Winers went to that school too as well. Clark sisters went to Mumford, and she taught the whole Mumford, the whole Detroit sound. You know what I'm saying? Really, we would have been the next Motown, but because we were Christians, we decided to do gospel music. You know what I mean? Because I know for me, I grew up, you know, listening to Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Michael Jackson. My brother used to have me sing those songs when I was young, and so like I said before, I didn't know the gospel chords. I just know those 3-finger chords, man, and it was like, you know, those 3-finger chords. I didn't know how to write like that. So that's how my songs came about. Just being true to who I am.
So
Yes.
What inspires you to write?
Well, number one, again, it's the relationship with God. You know, God sent out his message. In the beginning was the word. And so he sent it out and it did so many things. And so he put word in us. You know what I'm saying? So we are his messengers. So from the relationship, we want to make sure that the right interpretation, music and words that match. You don't want to write dark music with happy words. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to write a song that's kind of like going through something with happy music. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
interpretation is everything, man. So many times singers I'll sing, they do so much, they kind of like I'll sing, do so many runs where the message get lost. Sometimes musicians, they overplay and the message get lost. Who are we trying to promote? Ourselves or the message? You see what I'm saying? So
You
it's
gotta say that
important
again. You gotta say that again. Who are we trying to what?
promote ourselves or the message. And so it's important that we sing to an audience of one, we play to an audience of one while being the audience of one. I'm gonna give you an example of interpretation. If I said, feel like flying away. Now, you see what I'm saying? It's like if I'm flying away, I need to not say, I feel like flying away. Why would I go down when I can say, I feel like flying away? You see what I'm saying? Because that's right interpretation, because now the melody is flying away, plus the words is saying the same thing. So it's important that the interpretation of the words in the music match, otherwise the message gets lost.
So if you're a writer, if you didn't get enough from this, I'm pretty sure Mitch is gonna have a master class teaching writers how to write good sound music.
Yes, sir.
Whether you are writing praise and worship, whether
Yes.
you're writing a song, a love song,
Yes.
like you said, there are melodies, right? There's a major chord, there's a minor chord.
Yes.
They're there for a reason, and you have to learn how to respect those chords in order to create the sound that's going to influence the person that's listening to that song.
Why? Because the message is more important than me.
Ah! The message is more important than Mitch. I'm telling you, Mitch, that's what I love about you, is that everything is not pointed to you. The spotlight's on you.
Right.
You always give the glory back to God. And I think that's why God continues to promote you and what you do and who you are and what you have your hands in. Also, what I love too, Mitch, is the fact that in your sound, you carry a unique sound in the gospel realm. What some would consider R&B, you have a unique sound that draw people in differently. How did you embrace that sound that you carry? Because you have Tank talking about it. You got Jamie Foxx talking about it. I mean, you got people like Michael Jackson who fell in love with the sound that your voice had brought to the platform. You got Brian McKnight. Like, what was that? What is that like for you?
Oh man, it's always a blessing to know to hear people talk about how you influence them. But I realize, man, most importantly, the story really is not about Mitchell Jones. The story is about the God in the life of Mitchell Jones. Really, I really think that they were more attractive. They didn't know it. God was calling them. God used, because see, the very breath we breathe is God's.
Right.
So God used my voice. The sound was used, mixed in with God's breath, because it's his breath. And it came out. And God is still saying, hey, Adam, where art thou? I mean, he's still like, God still loves us, man. He's still calling everyone back to himself. And I think it ministered to those people. You know what I'm saying? It ministered to those artists. And I think a lot of those artists start out in church. You know what I'm saying? They start out in church and they got a hold of commission music. And they might think it's me, but it's really God, man, still reaching out saying, I love you, you know what I'm saying? And I still want to fellowship with you.
And you worked with some incredible writers. You work with some incredible producers. Is there anybody that you've worked with in the past couple of years that you've been able to reconnect with doing music?
Yeah, Keith Staten, man. We recorded this song, Ordinary, a year ago for the music soundtrack. And we made a decision to release this particular song before the soundtrack comes out, due to all of the love of so many others. Tank and Jamie Foxx have given us. And man, it's just a blessing to know that the message of the gospel is still touching people through the songs of commission. But
wow, say that again. Message of the gospel is still what?
It's still touching people and blessing people through the songs of commission. This Ordinary Just Won't Do came out in 1989. And it's still right now. blessing and touching people. It's the gospel. It's the good news of how a perfect God perfectly loves imperfect people.
Let's take a look real quick with Tink and Jamie Foxx and them singing this clip right here with Ordinary. I told you. I mean, when I saw this video and I saw Tank sing it, I was like, wow. But here's the thing that took me by surprise as well. When I heard them talk about you, Mitchell, and I know you said it, you know, it's God that gives us breath, and it's God that used you, and they didn't even recognize that, you know, it was influenced by God, the song that they were singing, because you can see how they fell in love with those words. You can see
Absolutely.
how everything changed about them, you know?
Absolutely. Everybody can relate. I believe so many people can relate to the Ordinary song. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody go through different things, and many people are trying to find love in all the wrong places. And the song is just saying, listen, try God. Listen, when many friends don't understand the things you're going through and the trials you're going through, but it's a God who knows everything. He's omniscient. He sees everything, and he cares about you. And all you have to do is try him. Like the song, I Am Here. You know, rain fills the sky, yet the sun is always there, though it seems to hide, waiting for the right moment to brighten up your life. Just like a mother's love, a child can rest there and be secure, but I can be that and much more. If you only give me half the chance. I'm standing here with outstretched hands. You got to understand. If you only look my way,
Come on.
the words I say, I offer you real love. How long must I wait? God is here. He's not coming. The thing about God, he's not coming or going. He's always present. And we have to learn how to be present in the presence of an omnipresent God. He's always here. He's never going to leave us. So we have to know that. You know how we say, you know, God is in this place. First, God is in me. The first place of experience is I need to know he's here. You know what I'm saying? Then I can see him in the room, but I need to know he's right here inside of me. Never going to leave me, never going to forsake me. I want to go back just a little bit. When,
Talk to me.
How I came to be a Christian. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine named Daniel Winans, one of the Winans. We played sports together. We played basketball, baseball, we played football, we played a lot of different things. We were on our way home from a game, and a friend of mine who I knew, he had stolen some popsicles. And he said, hey man, I know it's funny, that's what I said. And he said, hey man, you want some popsicles? I said, yeah. Daniel Winans said, you can't eat that popsicle. I said, why? He said, because he stole those popsicles. I said, man, give me that popsicle. So I ate it. You know what I'm saying? And so I went home that day and I asked my mom, I said, Mom, could you read the Bible to me? We were like 10 years old. I said, could you read the Bible to me? And she felt so bad because she knew a little bit about God, but she couldn't share God with me. So what happened was that was a seed now planted in her life. She ended up getting saved before me. So by the time I'm 13, my mom say, you won't be able to go to the recreation center if you don't go to church with me. So I started going to church. And man, I tell you, I remember saying to myself, you know, I'm gonna get saved I was 13. I said, I'm gonna get saved probably about maybe three or 4 months, like 3 or 4 months from now. I said, because I still want to go to a couple of parties, you know. And the next week, now this is next week, I said, man, I don't feel like cussing no more. God took cussing out of my mouth. Before I even gave myself to him, he was already working on me. Wow. And man, it was such a blessing. I just wanted to share that testimony, how I came into the gospel, into being a Christian. And years later, I met a young lady by the name of Carlene Lindsay. And I saw her at a skating party. Me and Carl, we walked into this skating party, and we were just greeting everybody, hey, what's going on? And I saw this young lady sitting over there by herself. And I said, hey, would you like to skate? She said, yeah, we hit it off. But for some reason, we didn't talk for a whole year. We came back the next year. And we hit it off again. And we started dating 3 months. And all of a sudden, 6 months later, we were married. Now, I got to share this one part right quick.
Talk to me. We doing music, baby. Talk to me, Mitch.
When I was in high school, I went to the studio called A&M Studio,
Mhm.
and it was a bunch of high school pictures there. And I happened to look and turn to the side, and I seen this picture of this young lady. And I said, "Hey man, who was that?" He says, "Oh, don't worry about her, man. Don't worry about her. She out of your league." And I said that to say, when I'm talking to Carlene, when we were going together in them 3 months period, in the 6 month period that we were engaged, I opened up her portfolio, and there was that picture that I asked that guy, "Who was that?" And
Wow.
I knew she was the right one.
Wow.
I have 2 kids, 2 wonderful kids, and
Yeah.
6 grandbabies, man. And it's been a wonderful time. Even when COVID hit and everybody had to be shut in, man, we had such a wonderful time with my family. We would be on Zoom having Bible study every day, man. It was a
Wow.
wonderful time. And my wife and I, we like quality time, So it was great for us. We was able to spend that quality time together, man. It's been a blessing.
And that's what it means to be a leader in your home.
Yes,
Mitch, that the ministry starts off first in your home.
yes,
It's not when you go out into public and want to serve people. I always say it's important. First Timothy chapter 3 talks about being able to be a minister in your home first.
yes,
And most people forget that, especially being an artist and the music or entertainment business. I mean, you've been in there for over 20 something years. I mean, think
yes.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
You've been acting in the industry for over 20 years and also keeping your marriage and sustaining your family. That tells a lot about your character. That tells a lot about who you are. That tells a lot about your faith, the
Yes,
core foundation of what allows you to be able to do what you do as a great leader. And I just want to tell you from just on this platform, I'm proud of you. And
appreciate that.
we need to continue to have more examples like that within the music business and the entertainment industry, because at the end of the day, we don't need to compromise what God has
Yes,
blessed us with for something that He's given us as far as our gifting.
yes.
Um, so tell me a little bit about because I know I was reading a little bit about your daughter,
Yeah,
um, and her singing, and the first time you saw her record a song with you, it almost
yeah.
like you were in tears because you were able to see her gift. But you said something very key too. You talked about as far as like allowing her to have a love affair with God. I think
Oh,
that's
that's so important. For anybody that's trying to get into the music. I want to say music ministry because when commission first started, we entered the music ministry. We weren't trying to enter the music industry, and we came in as ministers. And when you talk about leadership, I love that because in the leading at home, see, so many people, for so many years believe that leadership is leading over people. No, but
powerful.
leadership is leading under people. It's
Wow.
serving them. You know what I'm saying? And your greatest desire is to see them be the best version of themselves. You see what I'm saying? And so I I really push love affair because if you get in the industry, you want to make sure God calls you to Himself. He don't call you to go out and do something. He calls you to Himself because the first thing He wants, make sure that you're sure about Him, that you can bear fruit. God is not so much interested in you being successful, but He's more interested in you being fruitful.
Yeah, and
Bear fruit.
it's amazing you said that, because I just saw something. I just saw a vision when you were talking about a mirror reflection,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Before anything moves forward, you have to see everything from within.
Really, God wants face-to-face encounters. You know why? Because we're the apple of His eye. And so
Mhm.
when we see God face to face, we see that He sees that He's the apple of our eye. We are the apple of His eye. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And from
Yes.
that right there, it's that love affair should spill over on your wife. It should
Mhm.
spill over on your kids. It should spill over on your neighbors. It should spill over on everybody you come in contact with. And see, what I love about God, we talked about Him earlier. God is not concerned about your perfection. Like God is concerned about your commitment. He just say, just keep coming. It says a righteous man falls 7 times, but what he do? He gets back up. So it's not about do's and don'ts. It's about this love affair relationship. And a relationship without fellowship is like a marriage without love.
I like that, because even you and Fred had a very interesting relationship that
Yes,
you guys came up with the name Commission.
yes,
Talk a little about how that name came about, because reading that and envisioning that I almost, it brought me to like a movie back in the days, like Grease or something, like
yes.
thought about that moment, like, hey, I think I got the name. I think I got the name. I think I like the Temptations. When you see them in front of Motown and they're thinking of a name, like what name should we come up with? And bam, Fred said something, and bam, you guys connected, and Commission came about. Talk about that story a little bit.
Well, we were, I think I was over Fred's house, and Fred said, you know, because we went to the Army, National Guards together. And so we did basic training. And he said, you know, this is like, it's like we commissioned to do this, like it's something we have to do. And I said, wow, that sounds like a good name right there. And so we told the other guys, and they loved it, man. And that's how the name came about.
Did you ever think that name would carry so much weight even to this generation today?
When I first said it, it wasn't a marketing name. You know how you get a name, you can market his name.
Right.
When I understood that God is sending us, we're the sent to be commissioned. You are sent,
right,
to represent God, to be His representative in the earth, and to show forth, to reflect back to God the radiance of His worth, to show the world, the world you're most aware of. We're supposed to be housing the presence of God. You see what I'm saying? So when we go out, we're supposed to house the presence of God so people can experience this presence of God, this kingdom of God.
But that's what made it crazy, because Commission came out with a different sound, a sound people never heard of. I mean, you took the Clark sisters, you took the Winans. I mean, you guys put those sounds together and created your own sound. Till this day, people are still singing Commission songs. I mean, and then you guys are coming out with a new movie.
Yes.
I mean, the Commission movie. I mean, what is that like?
Oh man, it's a blessing, man, to know that, like I said, that God is still. Michael Brooks wrote a song. You keep on blessing me, though I might not be on top. You keep on blessing me, if I'm asking you or not. You keep on blessing me. Everybody I must tell how you bless me, Jesus, in spite of myself. How you bless me, Jesus, in spite of myself. That's what that's about.
Only on doing music, you can get Mr. Jones to sing.
In spite of ourselves, man, you know, He's still blessing us, man. He's still blessing. We excited about the movie. Like I said, it should be coming out next year. We're looking at it next year. We should be casting hopefully in the beginning of the year. It should be coming out next year. And this is what I feel what the movie is going to be about. It's going to be about the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it's going to show a perfect God loving imperfect people perfectly, and that's the gospel. That's the gospel, man.
And I people be like, oh, I read the Bible, and I'm like, are you sure you read the Bible? Because the Bible have a lot of messiness, but it does. But that messiness leads to a profound message. And sometimes people miss the profound message because they get caught in the messiness. That's why I get gossip from, right? People never get to the gospel because they're stuck in the gossiping. And you got to focus on what the truth is revealing to you at that moment. You don't read the gospel to point fingers at others. You read the gospel so that a mere reflection of God can reflect in you, so that you know the message God has given you for the audience or the community He's sending you to. What was it like recording Ordinary again?
Oh man, it was a blessing, man. You know, like I said, to see how Ordinary is still blessing people over the years. You know, like I said, we came up with the song, man. And we said, let's put this out right now, man. Let's show the world that God's love is everlasting, that He's gracious, He's full of compassion, He's long suffering, He's always ready to forgive us, He's slow to anger, plenteous in mercy, abundant in goodness and truth. But like you said, God's love is unconditional. He loves us when we're right and when we're wrong. And so listen, if you try love in all the wrong places, listen, you can try love in the right places, in the right place, and it's Jesus Christ. He loved you forever.
And the other right place is November 7th. It's dropping. I'm telling you, you better get ready to listen to this record November 7th. But that's not it, because Mitchell has been working. I mean, he's been working with music. He's been working with other writers, with other artists and stuff like that. Let's talk about Keith. Keith's new song that's definitely coming out. Let's talk about David Stevenson. I Need You Up Close. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about those songs real quick, Mitch.
Well, man, Keith is still the foghorn. You know, he got that foghorn that when he sings, you know, he commands your attention. What I love about Keith is he's such a humble guy, man. And you know that when he opens his mouth that he's been with God, because he's one who houses the presence. He's anointed, man. And it was so much fun working with Keith. You know, technology is so different now, you know, because back in the day, it was reel to reel. You had to be in the same place to record. But now technology is advanced. Keith was in Florida and I was in Detroit, and I was able to record him. And man, that was an exciting experience because I never done that before. And I was like, wow, this technology is phenomenal. But Keith got a song called I Get Excited. And man, I couldn't stop singing that line. I get excited. Man, and I mean, it just kept ringing in my heart. Man, I was like, I called Keith. I said, man, I can't get this song out of my head. And I'm telling you, you got to go pick Keith's single up because you will get excited when you hear it.
And how about David Stevenson? I Need You Up Close.
David Stevenson is a jazz player, man, a wonderful guy, another guy who's humble. He called me one day. He said, man, I want you to sing on a record with me. So I said, send me the song, you know. So he just sent me some music. So we both kind of wrote the words, and the song is just talking about how, you know, you've kind of fallen away, or you went your own way, fulfilling your own desires, but you come to yourself and realize, man, nobody loves me like God. And it's saying, Lord, I realize this, and I need you up close. I don't just need you for a breakthrough. I don't just need you for a deliverance, for healing. I need you up close and intimate. And go get that single. I think it'll bless you. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to relate to it. Everybody has kind of done their own thing one time or another, and I think it'll bless you.
You guys need to go get that record. Of course, you're on Doing Music. We talk about positive music, inspirational music that actually have substance. So you need to go get that record by David Stevenson. Listen, it's called I Need You Up Close. It's been out since July 5th. Yeah. It's been out since July. So I don't know if that date correct, but I know it's been out in July. But you all need to go get that record. Whatever you do, pull out your phones right now. Go get that record and make sure you just invest into those that are investing substance into our communities, because that's important. You know, it's music that actually literally raised the next generation. You need to go first, November 7th. Ordinary coming out.
Yes.
Back from the movie. Okay.
Yes.
Then next up in January, coming out is this next song that he's recorded. What's the name of it again, Mitchell?
Love Never Fails.
Love Never Fails. You need to get it in January. That's coming out. And of course, be on the lookout in 2023 for the movie Commission. I mean, they're getting ready to work on it. And there's so many things that I know for all the Commission fans who are watching this, and you guys have been asking, where's Mitch? Where's Mitch? Where's Mitch? Well, here's Mitch. You know, now we're giving you the full story of Mitchell Jones. He is out. He's doing music. He's been doing music. He's been writing music. Even through the pandemic, he's been spending time with his family, as you can tell. But also, he's been spending time in God so that God can inspire him for the next season of his life, for the music that he's getting ready to put out. So if you are a Commission fan, or if you haven't been a Commission fan, hopefully right here on Doing Music, you're going to their page right now and you're following them right now, Commission, or you're following Mitchell Jones, because this is what it's all about, following artists that are doing music. Talk to me, Mitch. Yeah, one more thing you wanted to share.
It's called Up Close and Intimate. And I think, let me see, what year was that? I don't know what year it was, but I put a record out called Still Commission. And the record company said it was good. You know, it was all good. But when I put it out, you know, they blackballed it. And so they told the radio, they don't play it. And I was hurt, man. You know, I was hurt by that. But I realized God had me hitting for a while. And that's why I'm excited about this record, Up Close and Intimate. That's what it's about. The name of the CD is called, it's going to be called Up Close and Intimate. And so it's going to be a blessing.
Since 1982.
Yes.
You have never done an interview.
Yes.
You decide to do one now.
Yes.
What is the reason?
Well, I believe God is pulling me out front, you know, because, and I say out front, because I had a fear problem, man, you know, and I'll be honest. And I thought I had a fear problem because I was just so nervous about talking before people and interviews. And it was just so, I don't know what it was. It's just I had this fear wrapped around me. And it's funny that when I'm playing basketball and sports and doing other things, I would get trophies and that. But for some reason, it was like when you talk in front of people, it's like boom. And one time, I had an accident, and my car turned over 3 times and landed upside down, and my hand was severely burned. You can see right there. And the doctor said you might, if your hand don't get any better, you might have to cut your hand off. So fear gripped me. You know what I'm saying? And God says, no, you can't fear in this moment, son. He says you really don't have a fear problem. You got a lack of knowing me problem. And he says, when you know me, when you get a chance to know me like that, you will see that my love will cast out fear. So now, I am a pastor, one of the pastors at my church. I preach maybe every every other month. I'm preaching in the church. So he's pulling me out of my comfort zone and saying, listen, you got a lot in you, and I want you to share the gospel. Remember, the story is not about you. It's about me and your life. So, I was very uncomfortable talking about me. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel comfortable talking about me, but I do feel comfortable talking about him.
Look at you now, your story. Many are able to hear. People have been saying, where's Mitch? Here's Mitch's story. Here is why. Sometimes we allow fear to grip our destiny, and fear doesn't have the power to, because faith is. And that's what it's all about. I'm so glad that you took the opportunity to trust this platform, doing music, Ramsey Rizard, to literally capture the story. And thank you so much to our powered partner, HMG Studios, all the way out in LA, who has multiple studios that continue to share their partnership with giving us great stories such as yours. And, Mitch, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
My God.
Javon Dawkins. I mean, if you do not know Javon Dawkins, I think you need to Google him, or you need to go on social media and you need to literally follow his life. Javon is an extraordinary, just a leader, just a servant. The way he loves his family, the way he loves his wife, the way he fight for others, the way he meet people where they are.
The way he served people, you know what I'm saying? The way he served others, and his desire for others to be the best version of himself. That's just his heart, man. I love the guy, man.
As you heard it right here on Doing Music. Mitchell, as we get ready to close the show, there's another artist, there's another writer, there's another producer, there's somebody right now in the music ministry that's probably struggling with doing music.
Yes.
What words of encouragement from a 22-year veteran who's been in the business for many years, what words of encouragement could you share with that person right now watching doing music?
Like I said earlier, the most important thing is your relationship with God. You're giving God quality time. God don't want just I prayed and religious prayer. He wants quality time. And from that relationship comes your purpose. And let your songs come from his presence. I'm telling you, beautiful songs. I got so many beautiful songs coming out of prayer, out of the worship. And just know that once you come to him and you learn that he wants you, and in that fellowship, the continued fellowship with God, I'm telling you, you'll be able to do exactly what God wants you to do. And so many times, we look at him and say, well, what's my destiny? What's my destiny? I thought destiny was something I was supposed to do. But when I look up the word destiny, it's really God happening to you. Let God happen to you. Just let him happen to you. How? By giving yourself over to him. That's all. And let him happen to you, and let him lead you and guide you and direct you in the way he wants you to go.
Come on. Let God happen to you. You heard it right here on Doing Music. This is Ramsey Rizard with the one and only Commission Mitchell Jones. And we thank you guys so much for watching Doing Music. Whatever you do today, whether you're a writer, whether you're a producer, whether you are in the music ministry, entertainment business, you heard it here. I call him the Godfather. That's it. Today, we solidify that. The Godfather, Mitchell Jones from Commission. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, your experience matters doing music.
I'm doing music. Everybody saying they doing I'm doing music. Yeah. I'm doing